Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles. And if you've been following us on Instagram, which if you don't follow us on Instagram, why the fuck not? Then you know that we got a new snake recently, which is on my list of snakes I've always wanted, and that is a rhino viper. So today we're going to attempt to feed the rhino viper after we kind of show it off to you a little bit here. There will be some reflections. It is in glass. Now, a few things you're going to notice is this is janky. I've got a twist tie on there for a lock. But let's talk about that situation really quick. This cage and my gaboon viper cage are both temporary cages, along with my banded rock rattlesnakes. And as they grow, they will get different cages, obviously. But this is not my house. I have people like, oh my God, it's not. This is not my house. Nobody lives here. No children live here. No adults live here. No goblins live here. No fairies live here. Nobody lives here. And as a matter of fact, there actually is locks because the house itself is locked. The reptile part of the house is locked on two separate keys. So there's two separate locks one must go through just to get into this room to open most of our locked cages. So why is there a twist tie on this at all? It does a couple things. Same thing a lock kind of does. It just ensures I lock it or close it. If I put this on, then I know I've closed it. It tells me it's a last step to make sure that I don't forget and I actually closed the cage. So that's all it's really doing. Now we're going to attempt to feed this guy for the first time since we've had him. He has been already on food. We asked the previous owner what he was eating, and we've got the same basic thing to feed him. One cool thing that I came home to today and I was really excited about, I'll tell you a little bit about the cage, why I did what I did. Because again, this is our first rhino vipers. It took a little poop right there, a little urate, which is good, especially since it's been in a deli cup and just got here. Having its first bowel movement already is awesome. It took a soak right before we got it here. It's been sprayed daily. We put a nice shallow water dish that's big enough for it to soak in if it wants. I got some nice driftwood in there, some leaf litter in there it can hide underneath, and a really thick layer of substrate. These things don't run really high heat. You're going to notice you don't see any heat on it. It does have a little bit of heat from under tank. The substrate does a couple things. It gives us a place to burrow. And number two, it keeps too much heat from coming up, just for some ambient overall warmth on the bottom. But you only want to run them, you don't want to run them over about 80 degrees. So we don't want the temperature too warm in here, but this whole ball python room runs about 75. So we don't need to add a whole lot to this to have it kind of that perfect area. I have noticed it does climb a whole lot, but let's go ahead and pull this lid off here, which does have some positive latches right there. And again, this will be a temporary measure. This will eventually end up in a full-blown cage. Now, if you look, I like the setup. I think it looks really nice. It's got some commercial-made leaves, commercial water dish, commercial hide, nice driftwood from around our area. Just kind of a really nice, cool-looking setup. This is a very rainforesty species. They do climb a little, but they're not really climbers. And we're going to be using what is not a brand new mouse, but a very young mouse that has been fed on live. Let me get that out the way so you have a better view. And we're going to try to feed it. It may be interested, it may not. Don't be interested in my hand, though, little buddy. We're just going to set this in, kind of right there. I can balance it, don't fall, and we'll see what happens. From what I've been told, it is a shy eater, so this may be one of those things we do leave that, and then we come back and look around tomorrow and find it's gone. It may not want to eat with the camera or me in its face, which is totally understandable. As you can see, that is a pretty good sized meal for that little snake. This is a very, very young rhino viper. A couple differences in the rhino viper and the gaboon vipers. They are related. They're both abitus, which includes some adders and other things like that in them. Oh, returning. That's a good sign. We'll see that tongue flick out and I feel really good. They are much more colorful than a gaboon. So you see those reds and things like that, and it's going to brighten up with some age and look really cool. They'll get some blues in there even, possibly some greens. All kinds of neat stuff can come on them. So I'm really excited about that. They are a smaller species than a gaboon, so they're going to get, maybe 3 feet long. You're not going to get a whole lot longer than that with these, unlike the gaboons, which are going to be pushing 5 pretty easy, even over. They will get very long nasal horns. So when you get into your gaboons, if you want to get really, really specific, you've got two kinds of gaboons, an East African gaboon and a West African gaboon, which is like Bitis gabonicus and Bitis gabonicus rhinoceros, which is like Bitis gabonicus rhinoceros. Nobody cares about that Latin crap. But basically the difference is that you will see between those two gaboon vipers is going to be the nasal horns, which the West African Gaboon Viper has. The East African has very small ones. And then also the eye stripe is different. So they're easy to tell apart if you know what you're looking for. These are going to have really, really large, huge nasal horns, which is going to be really neat. So I'm excited to see those develop. If we can get him eaten, obviously he's already pooping. So that makes me very, very excited. Kind of crawling around. I might try to dangle that in front of him one more time. One thing is, well, their bite is not reported to be as hot as, say, a Gaboon Viper. It is still to be respected, and the strike is lightning fast. All right, now we're not going to get to see a feed today, unfortunately, I don't think, but that's a bummer. But it's not uncommon when I get a new snake that they're a little bit shy at first, and that is okay. Hopefully he'll feed while we're in here working on some other things for us, and we'll get to see it. You guys probably won't. Well, sorry about that. But I am going to close him up now, and then we're going to slide over to Patreon, and we'll kind of talk about this here and what our future plans are with this snake, because believe it or not, we do have some plans with it on what we want to do and why this is such an important piece to add to our collection and why we've been planning to add one for a very long time. Kurt, any questions you want to address?
No.
All right, and like always, again, we'll show you the point of that. When you use one of these with the positive lock, just keep your fingers out of there and just a little push and you'll feel it snap in. Then again, this just ensures it can't be pushed out. And if I take the time to do that, then I know I closed it. I don't have to think, do I close that and rush back over here? Which, believe it or not, I have done before to find I've closed cages properly. All right, if no other questions occur, I'm going to hop up off of here, and we will catch you guys next time.